Hello and welcome to a very special edition of Solent Sports News. Coming up on today's programme, we'll be finding out more about Basingstoke's new NFL star, and we'll be chatting live with someone who played at Augusta last month. We'll start with a football roundup. Chelsea take on Spurs tonight at 7:30 at the Bridge as they hope to jump West Ham and have a chance at Europe next season. They will have to do it without the experienced Thiago Silva, who's injured. Axel Disasi will be assessed. Tottenham play without forward Timo Werner, while Oliver Skipp returns. Tonight in Europa League semis, Marseille take on Atalanta, while Roma are against Bayer Leverkusen. In the conference, Aston Villa play Olympiacos and in one semi-final to determine a finalist who will play either Fiorentina or Club Brugge, who also faces off tonight. A man from Basingstoke could become the next big thing in the NFL, and he's never even played the game. 23-year-old Travis Clayton has been signed by the Buffalo Bills. To tell us more, our reporter Jacob Punter is in the studio for us. Jacob, how has this all happened for Travis?
Well, Lilia, he started off his career by playing for Basingstoke Rugby Town, and he impressed. And then in 2019, he made the transition over to the NFL Academy and has now made his move to the Buffalo Bills to buy the IPP. Earlier on, I spoke to a journalist about his athleticism and his attributes in the game.
Bills drafted him in the 7th round, mainly because of his athletic sort of nature. He's tried multiple different sports. He's 6'7" as well, so that combined with speed, and he's about 21 stones. He's got a lot of strength behind him, so he's a bit of an athletic freak, they like to call it. So I think they've drafted him mainly because of that. But of course, that speed is going to be one of his top attributes they're going to look at.
Yeah, excellent. And what I was wondering is, do you think that will be all he has, or do you think he will be a success with everything else involved in the game in this season and future seasons?
It's a tough one to call. He's not played a single He's not played a single American football game apparently. So it's going to be tough to see how he adapts to the actual sort of style. It's a bit different from rugby that he's played previously, but he's got the athletic talent to succeed, but I think they'll be quite slow in sort of progressing him through to the team. He won't be a starter, in my opinion. So yeah, it's just a case of getting him up to sort of scratch, get him a few snaps at NFL level, see how he adapts. But he's got the athletic nature, he's got the athletic traits for him. He's fast, he's strong, he's perfect in what you want for an offensive tackle. But it's whether or not he can actually adapt to that sort of style of play, that style of game, really. So
tell us about Travis.
Well, he's a 6'7", 21 stone offensive tackle. He's got the perfect build for such a position, and his athleticism is frightening, to be deadly honest. He should be good for the future.
Will he actually play in the NFL next season?
Well, he's quite a raw talent. He, as was stated, he has never made an appearance in an NFL game, so we will see, hopefully.
Thanks, Jacob. We're going to stay with Travis Clayton because we've got an exclusive interview with someone who coached Travis while he was at Queen Mary's College in Basingstoke. Chris Kirby, thanks for joining us. First of all, how good was Travis as a rugby player?
Travis was generally just a very good all-round sports person. Really, he took to most sports that he tried his hand at, and he ended up with rugby as well, and ultimately went on to do very well for himself, as we can see where he's ended up in the NFL. So yeah, just naturally a very talented athlete.
Brilliant. And what was he like as a student?
So Travis was very, very lively as a student, very confident in himself, and ultimately found his feet at college, and then that helped in some way to put him on the right path to be able to go on and do what he's going to do now. So yeah, I'd sum it up in that way, really. He was a down-to-earth student, quiet to start with, and then developed his confidence as he went along the pathway. And yeah, he's a solid student.
And how do you think he'll do in the States?
Only given from what I've seen as well with the programs that are following those players in that program, I think Travis will do well. He'll apply himself really well. He really understands, by the sound of his interviews, that he is in a position to take the opportunity with both hands, and he knows exactly what he's got to do how he's got to do it, and hopefully push on to achieve everything he can from there.
And will this make more rugby players think of switching to the NFL?
I think it will have. A natural impact on a variety of sports, and for just for the student engagement here, it's certainly got everybody talking, and it's a brilliant exposure for rugby, absolutely, and as well as hopefully a host of other sports, given Travis's sporting background.
Brilliant, thank you, Chris.
No problem. Bye.
We're going to move on to golf now. A Solent University student played at Augusta National last month. Will Hurrell went to the Masters to report on the famous tournament, but ended up getting more involved than he first thought. Our reporter Olivia has brought Will in for an interview.
Thanks, Olivia. Yes, I'm with Will Hewlett. So we will tell you about your week at the Masters. What work did you have to do there while you was there?
So when I was there, I had to write articles for web and print, but it wasn't just for the English, it was actually for the South African press. So I replaced a lecturer here at Solent due to ill health, unfortunately. And yeah, I had to write reports, I had to interview players, go to press conferences and all of that, and it was really amazing. Being at Solent, I have learnt those skills, but not until you're in the real world, you actually put them into practice, and it was quite a place to do it at. So yeah, it was brilliant.
Sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was.
In your time there, who was the most famous person you saw?
Probably the most famous would be Tiger Woods. I mean, he is probably the greatest of all time in golf. But I did, in fact, actually interview Gary Player, who is a South African player. He is also considered one of the best to ever play the game, so that was really cool. But when you're there, you're just so involved with all the high-level elite golfers. So just to name a few, they were the best. But yeah, so many there.
I heard that you played on the course during your stay. How was it, and has reality set in that you played in such a known place?
Yeah, so I'll give you a quick backstory. So as a press, you get entered into a ballot, and only a lucky few get in. I think 20 of us played out of about 200 to 300. So yeah, my name was brought out at chance, and I couldn't say no. So yeah, I played the course the Monday after the tournament finished, and it was just amazing. The course itself is of the highest standard. The attention to detail was amazing, and yeah, it was the first round of golf I actually played for about 7-8 months. I was quite rusty. My back actually really hurt after, but it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I was lucky enough to get a few pictures taken, and that's the kind of memory that will stick with me for the rest of my life. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thanks, Olivia. That's all we've got time for. Hopefully we'll be back here reporting again for Solent Sports News. Goodbye.